Hey everybody, this is your Digital Super Saiyan 3 back here with a new video, and this is my top 10 death battle ideas. Just 10 ideas I decided to come up with for death battle. Death battle's been around for a long time now. It's been like 13 or. No, it's been like 15. No, it's been like 14 years. It's been around for 14 years. They've gone from the likes of Screw Attack to Rooster Teeth, and now they've gone independent. So today is this video I wanted to do counting down my top 10 death battle ideas. This is just 10 death battles I thought of, and these are the death battles I truly want to see happen. So starting off the list at number 10, we have Mario versus Link. Now both are the main heroes of their respective games. Mario for the Super Mario Bros. Series, and Link for, The Legend of Zelda, of course. Now, we've seen Mario and Link already appear on Death Battle, mainly in two battles against characters they've fought before. Mario had two fights with Sonic, one that he lost and one that he won. And Link did the same thing with Cloud Strife. So, I'm thinking, why not pit Mario and Link against one another? I mean, specifically since Death Battle had done previously some Mario vs. Zelda themed death battles. There was Bowser vs. Ganondorf, which was Bowser's first appearance on Death Battle, and as well as Ganondorf's first appearance on Death Battle. And of course they did Peach vs. Zelda. So, since we did the villains and the princesses, why not do the heroes themselves? The hero of the Mushroom Kingdom taking on the hero of Hyrule. I mean, Link and Mario both have a lot of equipment and a lot of weapons and power-ups for them to use at their disposal. So depending on which power-ups and weapons they bring into this death battle between Mario and Link, I really hope they actually do this fight. It'd be an interesting battle between two of Nintendo's greatest heroes, as they are both of Nintendo's greatest heroes. Number 9, Tsuyu Asui from My Hero Academia versus Toad from X-Men. So, it's the battle of the amphibian people. Asui with her quirk, and Toad for him being a mutant, given the fact that Toad is a mutant. Asui and Toad would be an interesting fight because, both are amphibious and both have the powers of an amphibian. Tsuyu Asui for the powers of a frog, and Toad with the powers of a toad. And this is one of the few X-Men battles I could think of. And it's been living rent-free in my head for a while. Number 8, Metal Sonic, or Cell versus Metal Sonic. Cell versus Metal Sonic. Okay, we've had some Sonic versus Dragon Ball fights up here on Death Battle. We've had Shadow versus Vegeta, and Silver versus Trunks. But now it's time we get to Cell versus Metal Sonic. I'm kind of surprised we haven't had Cell appear on Death Battle, and Metal Sonic has appeared a couple of times on Death Battle, and both are the master creations of their creators. Basically, they are the masterpieces created by their creators. Cell with Dr. Gero, and Cell being the ultimate creation of Dr. Gero, and Metal Sonic being the creation of Dr. Eggman. And both have various transformations and abilities that can counteract one another. Like Cell would have his Kamehameha, and Metal Sonic, he could protect himself with that black diamond shield. We could implement their transformations as well. Cell could be in his perfect form, and Metal Sonic could be in the Metal Overlord power-up. It'd be an interesting fight between Cell and Metal Sonic. and that's why I included them on this list. Number 7, Cecil Stedman from Invincible versus Amanda Waller from DC Comics. So, both are the corrupt heads of a division of the government. For Cecil, he's the head of the GDA. For Amanda Waller, she's the head of Argus. Both have vast resources at their disposal. And of course, both are not afraid to get their hands dirty. Why did I choose to do Cecil versus Amanda? Because it just sort of came to me. Both Amanda Waller and Cecil Stedman, like I said, they're not afraid to get their hands dirty when it comes to it. And they both have their vast resources. You know, given their government connections. Number 6, Katsuki Bakugo versus Jubilee. Now, there were a lot of other characters I could have thought of for Bakugo to fight. I could have thought of him to take on Rexplode from Invincible, but I highly doubt Rex would last any longer than Bakugo. And I've then thought of Jubilee. I could think Jubilee would be perfect for a fight against Bakugo. I mean, we did see Jubilee become much more stronger, or shall I say, we see Jubilee actually get better as the X-Men series went on. I mean, sure, she still got saved by Wolverine, sure, but since this is going to be a 1v1 fight, Wolverine will not come to help Jubilee. But if they are going to do Jubilee, I recommend they do X-Men 97 Jubilee, where she's much older and more experienced. Just saying, like, Jubilee in the X-Men 97, you know, she didn't really need any she hardly needed rescuing, so we actually did see her become much better and more capable. So, I would say, yes, number 6 would be Katsuki Bakugo versus Jubilee, because I couldn't think of anyone to face off against Bakugo in a battle of exploding people, or people who have the powers to blow stuff up. Number 5, and this one is a battle that I've had in my head for a while, and that is Jon Kent versus Invincible. So yes, the half-Kryptonian and son of Superman, Jon Kent, taking on Invincible, the half-Viltrumite, half-human, and son of Omni-Man. Invincible versus Jon Kent. So yes, I've been wanting to think of a battle for Invincible to take place in, you know, because Death Battle, when it comes to the characters of Invincible, the only character who's actually fought twice from Invincible was Omni-Man. So I figured, why not include his son in a Death Battle? And I could have thought of, I know people would have wanted Invincible versus Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, but I highly doubt Invincible would have been able to beat Gohan, especially if you had to factor Beast Gohan into that equation. But yeah, I'm gonna say Jon Kent was the perfect choice I could have gone with for Invincible. I would think Jon would be the perfect choice to take on Mark Grayson, aka Invincible. I mean, there's just really nothing to it. Number 4. Piccolo versus Knuckles the Echidna. So yes, this is another Dragon Ball versus Sonic the Hedgehog. This time, it's with everyone's favorite Namekian, Piccolo, taking on Knuckles. Now, both Piccolo and Knuckles are sort of similar, if not different. They are both similar for the fact that they were once the protagonist's original rival, before characters like Shadow and Vegeta came and replaced them. Like, Piccolo got replaced by Vegeta as Goku's rival, and Knuckles was replaced by Shadow the Hedgehog for Sonic's rival. So Piccolo versus Knuckles would be perfect, and not to mention they are sort of bounded to the creations of their mystical artifacts. Piccolo, he was once one with Kami, who created the Earth's Dragon Balls. And then Kami's evil self separated from him, that creating Piccolo. And then Knuckles, you have his tribe being responsible for the Chaos Emeralds. Number 3, and now we get a Marvel versus DC fight, as we got Peacemaker versus the Punisher. I would think this death battle would be a perfect live-action death battle. I mean, that along with Cecil versus Amanda Waller would be a perfect live-action death battle if they were going to do it in live-action. And Peacemaker and the Punisher do have a vast arsenal. They both do kill criminals. Sure, Peacemaker may wear bright colors, and the Punisher, he wears black. He wears black and white. But they are both formidable foes, and of course, they both do kill criminals. They are vigilantes who do kill criminals. And Peacemaker was just the first character I could think of to perfectly take on the Punisher. I mean, because if you were going to have the Punisher in a death battle, why not put him up against Peacemaker? I mean, because he's played by John Cena! But yeah, the Peacemaker versus Punisher would be an excellent death battle. Number 2 is the battle of the TV anti-heroes, as we have Tony Soprano taking on Walter White. So yes, this is another live-action death battle I really want to see. Yes, they were doing live-action death battles ever since they did Nightwing versus Daredevil, and they also did it with Winter Soldier versus the Red Hood. So Walter White versus Tony Soprano would be a perfect matchup. Both are TV anti-heroes that we just happen to root for. And, we see them, get more and more diabolical as the respective series went on. Though with Tony, on the other hand, it's not as over the top compared to Walter. Though with Tony, it'd be interesting to have him in this battle. Like, I hope they get lookalikes of James Gandolfini and Walter White, or shall I say, James Gandolfini and Bryan Cranston. I hope they manage to get some good lookalikes who look like James Gandolfini and Bryan Cranston. I hope the lookalikes, could possibly be, good looking, that actually looks similar to their original actors. And anyway, Soprano and Walter would be an interesting fight, a battle between the New Jersey mob boss taking on the New Mexico drug dealer, or drug kingpin, as Walter is a drug kingpin as he became Heisenberg. But interestingly enough, Tony versus Walter would be an interesting fight to the finish. I mean, I could have thought of other TV anti-heroes that could have been in this battle, like guys like Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy, or Dexter Morgan, but Tony and Walter would be a perfect match for each other. And my number 1 death battle idea that I really want to see is Killer Croc versus Leatherhead. Killer Croc from DC Comics versus Leatherhead from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yes, someone other than the Turtles or Shredder. And Leatherhead is the perfect character I could think of. I mean, I could have originally thought of Killer Croc versus the Lizard, but I highly doubt Curt Connors would have stood a chance against Killer Croc. Or Leatherhead, for that matter. I mean, Leatherhead is both a brute and a genius. And Killer Croc, well, he's just savage. Both of these two are incredible and could probably match each other in strength. But, you know, Leatherhead has the genius intellect to back him up. But Croc? Well, Croc is just brutal no matter what. It'd still be interesting to have Killer Croc take on Leatherhead. Anyway, this has been your Digital Super Saiyan 3, and I will see you guys next time for when I do my Unforgiven 2003 review and my casting for the Superman villains for Fancast 3. See ya!